What we're doing is that it turns out that my favorite spot for a base in the north has turned up cleared out. So I'm going to go ahead and record that I'm building what I like to call a construction house. A construction house is a temporary house that I put up with an attached garden so that I can have functionality and a safe place to do some crafting and such while I take my time designing and building what my base layout will actually be. So the first building that I'm going to be creating for my base will be located right here in this spot. And it's going to be a tall, round lighthouse, and it will be a crafting building. So all of my crafting supplies and crafting stations and such will go in this building. And then the second building that I will be creating will be my probably the stable, the dinosaur stable, which will be back here in the back up against this water area, or even more possibly over here, so that it can actually, yeah, the nursery will be here where my temporary house will be. And then the final two buildings that I plan to build in this compound will be a greenhouse, naturally, and also my personal home. And the style that I'll be trying to build will be glass metal, and I'm going to try to make it look like a castle. But not the kind of castle most people build, not the square, sturdy Norman style castle. And we'll get into more of that later when I start actually working on the base building. For now, what we're working on is my temporary construction house. For my temporary construction house, I am using the villager style building materials from the mod that is the Castles and Keeps and Fortresses mod. It's a really huge mod with a lot of building materials to it. And the reason why I use the villager stuff for my first temporary place is that the villager things are pretty much statted as stone. They have 15,000 health. Average animals do not damage them. Alpha animals will, naturally, and a giga will. But they have all of the attributes of stone, but they use fewer ingredients to craft. So that's why I usually tend to start with this style. And I'm going for 5 blocks across and 10 blocks down. The first 5x5 section room will be my crafting and main hall, and then the second 5x5 section room will be my greenhouse. So for safety's sake, I want to be able to take off fast if something runs up and comes after me. With that in mind, I'm staying on my eagle and building from my eagle. I have my foundations on my toolbar, and I'm just building from there. So we've got 5 down. We're going to go ahead and make sure that I get the sizing right and do 5 more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now that I've got that set up, I just need to fill in the space. You'll notice that I pause before I actually place the item. The reason why is because they have a tendency to shift or move if your camera is not at the exact right spot. And also if there's lag between myself and the server, just waiting that 2 seconds will eliminate the chance that I'll place it on top of another structure that's already put down and mess it up. I've already done that once by being in a hurry, and so I'm short 1 foundation in this build. There we go. Short just that one. I'm going to go ahead and grab that pearl. So my original base choice was just up the river from here, following the river inland, past the first waterfall, and past the second waterfall. And I already have a temporary construction house built, but I don't want to start demolishing it until I'm ready, because as you can see, there's quite a few things in this area that would aggro me and my poor dodos and stuff while I was trying to take it down. So I figure the wisest choice is to just build extra parts. And that won't hurt, because having extra parts means that later down the line I can take them to another map to start another construction base. And this is the villager crafting table, and that's where I'm building the things that I need. We're going to go ahead and make that missing foundation. Now I have, oops, let's go ahead and move those over. I have a gate and walls. I'm going to put the walls on my toolbar. The gate doesn't lock. This is an S plus metal gate, and it won't lock because it's not going on S plus foundations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down at least one wall so that I can get a feel for where the gate should line up. This will definitely be easier if I'm not sitting on my eagle. There we go. Let's try there. And let's see how that lines up with the wall next to it. Oh, I've got a gap, so I'll have to work on that a little more. If I go ahead and put some walls down to protect myself, there we go. I can't remember if I wanted to make this 3 walls high or just 2. I think I want to make it 3 walls high. Oh, I'll have to change that door opening. Okay, short on walls. Auto close only. This is a real good start. So we need to make 50 ceiling tiles. That would be these right here. So a ceiling tile that has the attributes of metal is 60 stone, 20 thatch, and 30 wood. 60, 20, 30, right? If I wanted to make metal, a ceiling tile, it would be 10 smithy taste and 35 metal ingots. Now, I find that getting the lower level ingredients is easier, and saving my metal for the actual building that I'm going to be creating later makes more sense. So let's tell it to craft those ceiling tiles. We're also going to need at least one of those trapdoors. Although actually, no, I kind of need that right now. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a stone trap door. This guy right here. And wow, I'm almost out of stone. Well, all right. So I guess that's time for me to start collecting ingredients. And since I'll get tons of stone while I'm collecting metal, I'll just do that. And I'll get both stone and metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wait for those ceiling tiles and put them up. And start my second gate. Let's see if I can create a storage bin. Nope, I don't have enough resources, so okie doke. We'll just get these ceiling tiles up and then I will take some time to gather some more resources to work on this. Well, apparently I didn't have enough to make 50, so we'll just go with what we've got. So we'll get started on the ceiling tiles. There we go. That's a good start. So one of the reasons why I like this particular spot is that it's close to, I believe this is called White Sky Peak, where the blue obelisk mountain is. And the reason why I like White Sky Peak is because it's the best place to gather metal here on this map, on the island map. The reason why I find it's the best place is because I never have to worry about anything aggroing me while I'm up in the actual cone of White Sky Peak. And that is so convenient and so nice to not just get metal, get metal, get metal, and not have to worry about what, you know, anything else is going on. So we are going to head up to White Sky Peak and start collecting metal so that, and rock, so that I can continue working on my temporary construction base. When I have enough materials collected and enough parts built that I'm ready to start building on it again, I'll go ahead and update on what's going on and record while I'm doing that, just so we have the full recording of everything that I'm doing to build this temporary construction base. And I'll go over what I find is necessary to have in a temp base like that. So go ahead and land. And I'll start collecting metal.